Hey, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. If you've watched a couple of my videos, you might notice that this is slightly better quality. I did just get a new camera to start recording my videos on, so I'm hoping that this helps with the overall quality of the videos. I'm actually pretty excited about getting it just because I don't have a lot of money, so this was kind of an investment for this. I ultimately decided to get it just because I kind of made a promise to myself when I started this channel back in December that by 1 year I was hoping to have 500 subscribers, and if I met that goal, then I would consider getting a camera and just like maybe putting in a little bit more effort into these videos. And I've always wanted to give the best quality videos, just kind of making work with what I had. But as of recording this in April, I have over 700 subscribers, which is still insane to me. So I just want to say thank you again for everyone that watches these videos and just appreciates them. I've had so much fun making them, so I felt like since I met this goal much faster than I thought I ever would, I figured it was time to hold myself to it and get the actual camera, so I did buy it today. And what better way to kick it off by listening to the newest Taylor Swift song that came out over the weekend. It is titled The Alcott and it's by The National featuring Taylor Swift, but let's just get straight into it. Judging by the beginning still shot, it kind of looks exactly like the Long Pond Disney Plus special that they did, so maybe this is the same place.
Get myself twisted in threads to meet you at the Alcott. I go to the corner in the back where you'd always be. And there you are, sitting as usual with your golden notebook, writing something about someone who used to be me.
Ooh, okay, so this is going to be a depressing song so far, but let's read that first verse by Matt Berninger. I don't know if I said that right, I'm sorry. But it says, I get myself twisted in threads to meet you at the Alcott. I'll go to the corner in the back where you would always be. And there you are, sitting as usual with your golden notebook, writing something about someone who used to be me. I'm not sure if it's meant to be about Taylor Swift, but it does seem very reminiscent of a Taylor Swift just because Golden Notebook kind of reminds me of songwriting, just because quite literally everything she kind of writes does turn to gold in a way, but it does kind of remind me of that. And then also, I'm assuming the Alcott is like a restaurant, and that reminds me a lot of Right Where You Left Me, someone being in a restaurant doing the same thing over and over as if it was the last time you saw the person. So it does remind me a little bit of that, which starts making me think that it's a relationship that has ended, but maybe someone's holding on a little bit longer than they should be. But I think we're gonna have to keep listening to kind of arrive at that point.
And the last thing you wanted is the first thing I do. I tell you my problems, you tell me the truth. It's the last thing you wanted, it's the first thing I do. I tell you that I think I'm falling back in love with you.
Man, okay. So that chorus said, and the last thing you wanted is the first thing that I do. I tell you my problems and you tell me the truth. It's the last thing you wanted, it's the first thing I do. I think I tell that I'm falling back in love with you. I keep bringing up old songs, but this also reminds me a little bit of The Last Time, because that was about someone who just keeps restarting a relationship that they kind of know it's going to end in the same way. And I think it's really funny that these people must know each other and know their buttons and how to push them, kind of, because the last thing you want is the first thing I do. Either you're doing that to get a reaction out of that person, or maybe you genuinely don't know, but I feel like it's just kind of trying to let us know that these people know each other like almost too well, and then one of them is still clearly in love with the other one. I'm still not sure if both of them are on the same page with this though.
I sit there silently waiting for you to look up. I see you smile when you see it's me. I had to do something to break into your golden thinking. How many times will I do this and you'll still believe? It's the last thing you want.
Tell me which side are you on, dear?
It's the first thing you do.
Give me some tips to forget you.
You tell me your problems,
Come on, your problem.
and I tell you the truth.
Could it be easy this once?
It's the last thing you wanted.
It's mine is a land.
It's the first thing I do.
Do my love aid and abet you?
I tell you that I think I'm falling back in love with you, and I'll
I love it when they do the conversations, and it's just so hauntingly beautiful, honestly. But let me go back to that second verse. It says, I sit there silently waiting for you to look up, and I see you smile when you see it's me. I have to do something to break your golden thinking. How many times will I do this and you still believe? So I will go back and say that maybe it's something that they both wanted, because one person was already there and the other person that arrived kind of forced that person to pay attention, and they're both smiling. So it kind of makes me think that they both are excited to see each other. But to break into your golden thinking, I'm trying to like process of what that could mean. And my first thoughts would maybe be like, is that the smart decision that you're trying to avoid? Because maybe both of you in the situation know very well that you should not be together anymore, and maybe that golden thinking is like keeping you on the straight and narrow and saying like, no, this is not something I'm willing to start. And the other person trying to break that thought process is like, let's give into this and let's, you know, give this the 18th whatever try and see if it will work this time. Because then it goes to how many times will I do this and you still believe, which again reminds me of the last time where she eventually just says, this is the last time I'm letting this person in. And then it goes into the conversational chorus where it says, it's the last thing that you wanted. Tell me which side are you on, dear? It's the first thing you do. Give me some tips to forget you. You tell me your problems. Have I become one of your problems? And I tell you the truth. Could it be easy this once? It's the last thing you wanted. Everything that's mine is a landmine. It's the first thing that I do. Did my love aid and abet you? I think I'm falling and back in love with you. There's so much there to kind of dissect line by line, to be honest. And it still seems like someone is holding out saying like, can you give me tips to forget you? So this person still does not want to get back together, and seeing them as making it really hard to like follow through with that, I'm never gonna get back together. But I really like the lyric, did my love aid and abet you? Because it makes it seem like it's a crime to be together, and that's maybe how detrimental this relationship is when they're back into it, that it feels like you're literally committing some sort of crime by putting yourself back into the situation that you maybe know isn't good for you. And then everything that is mine is a landmine makes me think like love is kind of like a battlefield in a way. But it also reminds me of, what was that song? It wasn't from Evermore, but it was basically Evermore. Renegade. Renegade was kind of about like the anxieties of the person not willing to give the other person what they kind of need. So I wonder if like everything that is mine is a landmine is kind of like, I still have my problems or internal things that haven't really gotten fixed, which kind of stopped the relationship before. So maybe that's kind of saying that the person hasn't grown into a different person, because I do feel like maybe relationships could be continued if people have changed in a way that is like positive for them to continue. But if you're still the exact same people and the exact same mindsets, it's usually not a good idea, obviously, to redo that. But I do still think that it's just a kind of like one more try kind of thing.
Shred my evening gown, read my
thing I do.
Did my love aid and abet you?
I tell you that I think I'm falling back in love, back in love with you.
Back in love with you.
What a great vocal delivery on that very last line by Taylor. It's just such a haunting song. I feel like I might have said that, but man, that was so good. Let me go back and read the bridge of that song. It says, "And I'll ruin it all over for you like I always do. Why don't you rain on my parade? I'll ruin it for you. Shred my evening gown, read the sentence out loud, and I always do because I love the curse on our house." I feel like I keep referencing other Taylor Swift songs, but this also reminds me a little bit of Illicit Affairs, because I'm pretty sure at the end of, or maybe even the bridge of that song, she said that she would like ruin herself over and over for the same person. But this feels like it's on both sides. They kind of agree that they would just both do that for each other. And it still makes me think that it's somewhat one-sided, because saying "why don't you rain on my parade" is like, if someone is presenting you with the idea of getting back together and then you say "rain on the parade," it's like, give me every reason why this shouldn't work, and clearly one of these people have those reasons ready to go. Shred my evening gown, I really don't have any thoughts about that. I wonder if you guys are gonna know. I know this song is still pretty new to all of us, but I don't know what that could mean. But then one of the last lines says, "because I love the curse on our house," really kind of a cool lyric, just because I feel like it's just like we're living in our own toxic, like, you know, like this is our home. We feel comfortable in this relationship, yet we know that it's cursed, like it's never going to work. It also makes me think of the song Ivy, but I don't think it really has any connections. I think that's just me thinking of an ivy house that's like growing, and that's kind of like the thing that you got out of that song. But I don't really think that had much of an actual connection. But yeah, that was the Alcott. That was kind of my thoughts on the song. Let me know if you have any perspective on the song or any way that you decoded it differently. But thank you for watching, and again, thank you for supporting me in everything that you do. I hope this video is a little bit better quality and it will be shown through the videos. But thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.